Good morning, South Africa. Goeiemorgen. Good day, folks around the world. In one of the most irresponsible pieces of journalism I've seen in ages, News24 today has doxed the refugee processing center located in Woodmead, Sandton, Johannesburg. They've exposed the site and put the lives of the people who pass through that site in grave danger because we know full well that there are people who mean harm to these folks. This is unbelievably irresponsible, so-called investigative journalism. It's disgraceful. And quite frankly, if the press ombudsman has any purpose in South Africa, this should be reported to them and they should deal with this. This is unbelievably irresponsible. Afrikaner genocide on hold for Christmas inside the Amerikaner Refugee Processing Center. Okay, first off, factually incorrect. There's no genocide for Christmas. This is smarmy, vile, repulsive. Alex Patrick, for the 1 billionth time, the justification for people participating in this program has nothing to do with your red herring of a white genocide. It has to do with unjust racial persecution. And if you were a real journalist, you'd know that. Are you a real journalist? Why aren't you reporting the truth? And it's not an Americana Refugee Processing Center. No such thing. That's utter nonsense. He says a makeshift Sandton office processing Afrikaner refugees for relocation to the U.S. was raided, with 7 Kenyan workers found operating illegally in tourist visas. Yeah, I believe that to be the case. That is the case. They were operating illegally. What's your point? It's not Afrikaners. Afrikaners, English-speaking South Africans, coloreds, and Indians. And stop lying about it. It's unbelievable, shameful behavior of these media outlets in South Africa. It's been 10 months. The truth is out there for 10 months, and they continue to lie to people. He said the operation linked to the unsubstantiated claims by the Trump administration about Afrikaner persecution in South Africa involves virtual interviews conducted by Kenyan officials via Zoom. Well, if it's virtual interviews conducted by Kenyan officials by Zoom, then how were they there? Well, they were there, so I don't understand what that sentence is supposed to be. Are you trying to say that they do the interviews from there and people are not there? Then why are people coming there? You need to explain this a little bit better in your story. It doesn't track. So here's the thing. Unsubstantiated claims by the Trump administration. They are substantiated. 145 race-based laws. That's the end of the conversation. That's all you need to know. Now, AfriForum criticized the raid as harassment, while U.S. authorities requested clarity from South Africa, asserting that the interference in their refugee operations was unacceptable. Agreed, and that's exactly what it was. Closed for Christmas was the official line given in the makeshift Sandton Afrikaner Refugee Immigration Center. It's not an Afrikaner refugee center. Stop lying. He said this was after the Woodmead office was raided, with 7 Kenyan nationals found to be working there illegally while under a 90-day tourist visa. Okay. He said the 7 were working for the Christian World Service. Wrong. It's not Christian World Service. It's Church World Service. Get it right. A Kenyan non-governmental organization working on behalf of the United States. Also wrong. Church World Service is not a Kenyan organization. RSC, Refugee Support Center, is a subsidiary of Church World Service. How can you trust these people when they're too lazy to even do basic internet research? This is simply a regurgitation of a previous article from News24. This isn't journalism. This is propaganda. He said the center is focused solely on relocating Afrikaners after President Trump's unsubstantiated claims. Once again, this is an op-ed disguised as news. What unsubstantiated claims? There's no unsubstantiated claim here. And it's not for Afrikaners. Stop lying. So News24 found an advert on Property 24 for the 2,226 square meter commercial property. And he says where it's at. I mean, I'm not going to hide this. Here's the thing. They think they're so special. If they were a trustworthy news organization, they would have known about this months ago. I've known about this location for months. Months. And as a responsible journalist, I haven't divulged the location or the process that they go through because people's lives are in jeopardy. But these are irresponsible people. They don't care about the safety and welfare of people. They are condescending and snarky towards the welfare of South Africans, black, white, and brown. He said it was advertised by the Galetti Corporate Real Estate as a prestigious, modern, and stylish commercial space, complete with chic glass partitions, a fully functioning canteen, training rooms, as well as dams and rivers, adding to the serene ambiance. Listed for a rental price of 311,640 Rand per month. And it was empty when they visited on Wednesday. So News24 rushes out to dox this location to put the lives of South Africans in jeopardy. No regard for the lives of their fellow citizens. When was the last time they were at Pala Pala? When was the last time that they focused on the Vrated dairy farm scandal? I'm not playing whataboutism. These are real stories. Zandile Gumeda. They're rushing out to dox this place. Wow. They also said it's going to reopen on January 12th to continue processing Afrikaners, but it's not. It's going to open to process South Africans suffering from unjust racial persecution. You know that. They also said they got a copy of an email invitation from Church World Services. The guards were charged with ensuring each potential refugee had email invite as proof that they were allowed on the premises. Now, News24 has seen the email, presumably from the guards. I don't know. It was sent to a principal applicant of the family after the initial screening process was completed. And then they described the whole process, telling what time you're supposed to show up, how it goes. These are the most irresponsible people. These are people that get you killed. That's what they'll do. They'll get you killed. Then they go on to talk about, they had a conversation with Kali Creel, who said he'd spoken to a woman at the facility with her family during the raid. Now, they falsely claim that she called AfriForum. Perhaps Kali Creel told them that, but that's not how things unfolded. That's not how things unfold. These people don't trust anybody because of writing fairy tales and lies and endangering public safety. AfriForum contacted me. They asked if I had contact with anyone who was intimidated or felt intimidated. I asked several people. This one was willing to talk to AfriForum. Initially, no one else was, but later someone else agreed. But by then, he'd already talked to this lady. It was enough. That's how it unfolded. But see, this unreliable media outlet doesn't know the truth because people don't trust them. No wonder. They've just described the process, told people that want to harm people what date to show up to harm them and what times a day to be there. They have no business doing this. This is irresponsible beyond belief. Now, Creel refused to give the details to the woman, and I will refuse. It's none of your damn business. You're not a responsible media outlet. Kali Creel said she was with her child, husband, and a broader family, and they were busy with the process when the authorities entered. According to Creel, she was mocked by the authorities, who allegedly asked, "Are you the whites fleeing the country?" And that's not really what was said. Ah, shame. All you whiteys fleeing South Africa. Go to Trump. That was one of the things that were said. Creel stated that the families were photographed without their consent. True. And South African authorities allegedly recorded the details of their vehicles and registration. True. Yep. So there you have it, folks. And here, it talks about how far the family traveled. That's unfortunate. Why is that even part of the story? This is shocking, to say the least, folks. Except it's not. The fourth estate is supposed to hold the government accountable, expose fraud, and inform the public, and be a source of news, not propaganda and government agendas. I don't understand what the role of News24 is. Clearly, it's not to inform the public. It's to generate a narrative. No effort here to talk to the person who broke the story, right here. No effort to talk to the person who is in touch with many of these people. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. Disgraceful. These people should be taken to task. They should be taking the press ombudsman for their actions. They have potentially put the lives of South Africans, white, brown, and Indian, in jeopardy. And their continued lies about this program are dishonest. They should be brought to the press ombudsman for this. They're lying. It's right there on the embassy website. Right there. And I'm in contact with Indians and colors who've come to America. I mean, I don't know what to say about these people. This is horrible. This is why people don't trust the press. It's just propaganda. Cheers.